200 people that you know. You draw up the number 200. Like out there, the first time we hit 200 deals, my wife made a picture of every single house. Well, it's in a frame. But what I would tell you to do right now is put the number 200 in a frame and say, I know 200 people. Now my job is to get known within those 200 people. The easiest way to get known with them is probably just start calling them up, talk to them, have all their information. Do y'all have a CRM system?
We do.
Nope. Yeah, well, I'm not good at it either. I'm not very good at it either, but that's why you need somebody in your office. Like Stevie, he sucks at the CRM, don't you?
Suck.
All agents suck at this. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. It's time for Real Estate 101. I'm here with bad hair, and I've noticed this. All the people that are supposed to be here, they ain't here. And they going to hear it. So if you're watching this, I need to know, because one of the things that pisses me off is not being here. Don't it, Pony? Noah, sorry I had to run out, man. My second showing today, it got canceled. And I had a little meltdown. I thought I had the house sold. They called or they texted and they said the buyer is passing. So if you're on here, number one, do me a favor, like. Number two, comment, say hello. Number three, the most important thing you can do is share the stream, please. Cameron, how did it go over there with Ricky? And don't give me no bullshit. I want to know, was it any good? Because I've heard 2 reviews. Where are you at, Travis? I don't see you sitting over here.
I believe he's over in the closing.
Are they closing? Mm-hmm. Well, doing business is one thing, but there's some people that ain't doing no business. There's certain people that should be here always at 1 o'clock. Turn that down. It's getting on our nerves. Hey, here's what you could be doing. Do you still do the barbecue thing, or are you getting out of it?
My family still owns it, and I'm still involved somewhat, and I still promote it, but I'm not cooking all the time.
I got you. But one of the things that you could be doing, we do a lot of events, or my wife's here and she's pushing these events, so food can get expensive. So if you can start doing events, invite your friends, your past clients, bring them in there, then you put them into a database. You've got to have ways to follow up with them. What CRM system are you using?
Well, we're with Keller Williams, so we have
KV Core or what?
Command.
I don't know how good it is, but none of them are any good unless you work them. So you got to use them. So that is one way you can market. One of the ways is I need to call this person, because you're at a point right now. If I could go back before we get into Real Estate 101, I'm telling these guys, if I could start all over again, the first thing I would do is focus on building a database. And I would have to hire somebody, because I don't want to mess with that stuff. So if you're on here, please share the stream. Shout out to our guys at PMG. Shannon, I don't know if you're on here, but thank you for everything that you're doing. One thing that has blown my mind is how quickly we are getting people approved and then closed once they're under contract. We have like 10 days. Our lender's so fast, Joey Calvin. We've got 10 days after they've been cleared to close. We're just sitting there waiting on the closing. Did you know that? It's crazy. So to tell you a little bit of a story, me and my wife, we have our home on the market. This is for you out there that are thinking about listing your home, or you got your home listed. So our home is on the market. And the reason why we put our home on the market is I was out one morning walking and I looked up and our neighbor's home was on the market. And, I'm glad they didn't call me to sell it. I don't want to deal with them. But the reason why it got my attention is because of how much they were asking for it. We looked it up, looked in the system, and it wasn't on the market. So I called Brent Long, and that's the guy that had it listed. I'm like, hey, man, what's up with this house? He's like, it's going live today, 8 o'clock. I'm like, well, how much is it? He said 1.375. That's really $1.4 million. I was like, there ain't no damn way you're going to get $1.4 million. I wasn't talking about his house. Whose house was I really talking about?
Yours.
Talking about mine. I know that may not make sense, but I just didn't see it any way possible. The house directly across the street from me was going to get that much. By 10 o'clock, there were multiple offers on it. I started thinking, well, man, what if we could put our house out there and some dumbass come in there and pay 1.2 for it? They're from California. They're going to come in and as we decided to do this, we got more and more attached to this idea of selling our home and moving across town and building a new home in a subdivision called Riverview Cove. So I made sense of doing all of this by we'll get 1.2, we're going to put X amount of dollars down on the next home. I'm going to pay off some other debts, and then we'll build this home. And it all had to make sense. And I said it's going to be 30 days, and I'm taking the house off the market, and we're not going to reduce it. So I was very rigid. I was very rigid in my thinking. So it went on the market last Thursday. We've had 4 showings, and we had our second showing coming today. While I was sitting there with you, I got a notification with you 3 and Noah. I got this notification that this lady said, "Hey, I'm sorry, but they're going to pass on your house." I was pissed off. So on the way back, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm very emotional. If you're ever selling a house, you're very emotional, because I love our house. I'm very attached to it. And I'm like, first off, I'm pissed off at everybody that said no. I'm really pissed off at the people that didn't just buy it, that lied to me, and we got it. Having your house on the market sucks. Have you ever gone through that? Have you ever sold a house? I mean, my wife's sitting there bitching at me because things are dirty, can't get comfortable. It's just not very comfortable. It's really not fun at all. So I'm driving back and I'm thinking, what if we put like a big bonus out there, like a $25,000 sales bonus, commission bonus? And I called my wife and she's like, I think we just ought to reduce it. I said, you're probably right. She helped me make sense of that. I've been on the market 6 days now, and it was listed at $1.2 million, and we're reducing it $100,000 today. Well, that makes sense to most people. Most people wait too long to take action for the price reduction. Here's what I was thinking. So I'm looking, I'm a realtor, but I'm also a seller, an emotional, crazy ass seller right now. And I'm looking for as much data to make me feel validated in this list price as possible. So I'll go to Zillow, and I'll go over here right now, and I will tell you, I think since the day we went live, at 1.2, we had like 1,000 views and maybe 53 saves. So now I'm in here, we're at 69 saves, 1,500 views. So what I don't want to happen is I don't want this house to become stale. The people that have saved this and they're not coming to look at it, they're also looking at other houses. They can fall out of love with my house as quickly as they find another house. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? So the other thing is, I was telling Brittany this last night, and this might offend some people, but so much has got to be timing, the chemistry, the way people think and feel about it. Like, you can't logically talk to people about what we could do. Once you've seen it, you've decided, if that makes sense. They don't really usually they don't come back. Most of the time, they look at it, they've decided, and they're doing this based off what they see and what you're asking for the property. So Brittany's like, well, won't we call them back and tell them? Well, it's hard to do that. It's kind of like this. Like, if you were to see Cameron and he was a girl and you wanted to have sex with him, but I said, man, that girl's got a deadly disease. Okay? And then 2 weeks later, Dr. Calvin comes in here and he's like, no, we made a mistake. I probably wouldn't be able to change your mind to do it. You'd have these thoughts. The same thing goes into people making a decision with a home. They look, they decide, and they move on. I mean, that's just the way people are. So when is the best time to reduce your house? Most people wait too long. I'm trying to get ahead of this. People are like, man, you're really jumping the gun here. I think we know right now, to sell this house, we're going to have to drop the price. Could wait, but I'm not going to keep. And here's the other pact me and my wife made is, we're not going to go through this for more than 30 days. We'll just do things at our house, or we've even talked about buying a Florida house. So I believe whenever you've got your home on the market, you've got to constantly stay ahead. The 1,500 people that have viewed my house online have agreed to look at it online, but why aren't they coming to look at my house? There's just something not attractive enough. They know about the house. This house has been shared over 40 times on social media. I know people are aware of it, but it's not attractive enough to get them to come look at it and buy it. What can I do to make it any better? There's only one thing. There's 3 reasons really why people are going to buy it. It's probably the price. It's probably the house and the location. Well, I can't move the house, and I really ain't going to do anything to make it any better. The only thing I can do right now to improve it is make it more affordable. That's the only thing. And what I would rather do is take time out of the equation and move it up to make people want the house. The worst thing you can do is, like, if I was asking way too much for this phone and I kept it out here, what high priced things do is they bring in a lot lower offers. So, like, if I had this for sale, what's a good price for this phone?
$1,000.
$1,000. Well, I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to ask $1,100 for it. Then what happens to me is the first day I put this phone on the market, I felt good about it. Well, 2 days later, I'm like, well, I mean, they're going to come. Well, 2 weeks later, nobody's come in and they've offered anything except this man. And since he knows this phone has been on the market for 2 weeks, he is uncertain of it. And what kind of offer would you make me? $650. What else can I negotiate? I can negotiate with myself and keep the phone or the house, or now I'm negotiating with you. I would have been much better off if I put this phone out here for $695. Now, would you buy it? Mm-hmm. Would you buy it? I've created more demand, which makes me more certain, and it makes the buyers more uncertain. And when they're more uncertain of getting a good deal on it, more certain that the value's there. And if you feel like the value's there, you might actually end up paying $800 for it. We used to use that strategy with houses all the time, but now that the demand is slowing, it's not working as effectively. So I believe this. Right now, today, I'm going to wrap the show up. I don't know what y'all's market is like, but I think if something's not selling within 7 days right now because of the limited inventory, you probably have either a pricing problem or your house is in bad condition or it's in a really, really bad location, which goes back to being a pricing problem. So I think after 7 days, as the market gets back to where it's more balanced, maybe you can wait a little bit longer. But if you want to stay ahead and your house not ever gets stale, I believe you need to reduce your home in 7 days. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Do you? Do you, Pony?
No, but Cameron, what was your comment?
What, I didn't even
The
see it.
approach, how he teaches, and just our approach here with how we communicate with buyers and sellers, especially with cold calls.
Do you like his better?
No.
You can move to Orange Beach.
I feel it's very passive, and it's more of just an immediate nurture, which isn't a bad thing.
Well, we'll go over that. But Van, unless there's any more Noah said I didn't miss much. No, give that house a chance. This is day 6 for this home. Tom, I believe, y'all know Tom Gavin over in Maryland? I just believe that, here's the other thing, Tom. We're only 6 days on the market, but we're approaching 50% of my shelf life because I'm not doing this longer than 30 days. I am not going through this. We are miserable. I'm miserable. My wife hates being around me. Von Grafton, shut us down.